A teacher tried to steal my standardized test to give it to one of her sports students. Part 2. I had to take the city bus. This was before cell phones, and we didn't have a car anyway, and no money for a taxi or something. I managed thanks to the crutch. When I got home, I let my dad know what happened. I thought I was mad, but he turned red. He helped me bandage up my ankle, the whole time his face as red as Rudolph's nose. He then asked if I would be okay for a few hours, and I said yes, and he left our apartment without a word. When he got back, he told me my teacher wasn't going to be giving me trouble anymore. Being a kid, I decided to test his theory. When I hobbled into class on my crutches the next day, we had a pair at home. In the middle of homeroom, I crutched up to the desk and asked Miss Karen if I could go to the bathroom. She put on this exaggerated, obsequious expression and said, "Sure, Jim, you can do whatever you want." That's not my name, just for illustration. Mission accomplished. Which leads me finally to the title of this post. When the time came around for standardized tests, we were all sent to various large classrooms that were not our normal rooms for the testing. I found myself in a room with me, about 5 or 6 other honor students, and a room full of cheerleaders and football players. Guess who the proctor for the test was? If guessed it was Miss Karen, you get a gold star. The only instruction she gives for the test is this. She tells us to fill out our names, using a pencil, but not to press too hard so we didn't damage the test. She also told us not to bubble in our names. She would do that for us, and said once we had done that, she would start the timer and we could take the test. I looked down at my test. There was a section on the front page that said, "For administrator use only." But the part where we were to fill in our names was clearly written for the student to fill it in, and the instructions clearly said to do so. I smelled a rat, and I am perfectly capable of bubbling in my name, so I filled it out myself, ignoring her directive. She saw me doing this and said, "I told you not to do that." I pointed out that I was merely following the instructions on the test. She got a mean look on her face and said, "Fine, if you want to fail." Then she walked off. We got back the results. I knew I had aced it, and sure enough, I had missed a grand total of 2 questions, and was somewhere in the 99th percentile. But I do wonder how many poor honor students found out that they were dumber than they thought, and how many cheerleaders found out they were geniuses.